Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to the Daily Dose, the number one daily morning mastermind for those who are trying to elevate in their personal, professional, or entrepreneur lives. It is a Friday, great Friday, April 12th. We're just going to close out the week on a strong note, and we'll hop right into the verse of the day, verse of the week. 2 Timothy chapters 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-discipline. And again, this verse is so strong because it's so many things out here that could give us fear, right? That could give us a sense of worry or anxiety or anything. It's just so many things that could give us that spirit, but we just always got to remember that that spirit does not come from God. It is wise to be, I guess, cautious, but for a good reason, right? But there's no reason to be fearful. We shouldn't be trembling in our boots regarding any circumstance because we know at the end of the day, all things work together for the good who love the Lord, right? That's another Bible verse. But God does not give us a spirit of fear. It's just not in us. We gotta attack the world. We gotta attack all our problems with power, love, and self-discipline. We have to attack it. We have to attack everything that we do in life with power, love, and self-discipline. Once again, it's not easy, but when we call on God, we call on Jesus, they will help us out and we'll be able to get through everything that we're trying to get through, and it'll be um, exactly what we need. So we'll hop into the business topic for today. We're going to be talking about SEO and SEO and the best strategy. So what exactly is SEO? It's going to be engine optimization, and this can be is specifically for a website, but it's also for your social media pages and things like that. So when people basically search for you, it'll pop up, right? Whatever you have going on, it will pop up. It will rank on Google or whatever other search engine like Bing. It'll be up there, optimizing various elements of a website, your content keywords, meta tags, and backlinks to make it more attractive. The way Google works is, or the way most search engine works is, whenever somebody types in a phrase, it automatically goes into looking up the websites that, number one, have keywords that matches what you just typed in, and then number two, pages who have the longest time on the web pages that match what you're typing in. The time period spent on your website that allows the search engine to equate that to, okay, I guess this is the web page that people were looking for, right? This is the information that people see, so it's going to rank that higher on Google. So, number one, do keyword research. It's so many keywords that can go along with your industry or whatever service or product you're providing. And then Google has a thing that helps you out, has Google Keyword Planner. So you can go up there and you can look for different keywords that you might want to include on your website, whether that's going to be in blogs, whether that's going to be on your About You page, About Us, things like that. That's going to help you out whenever you're including those specific keywords. Next thing you have on-page optimization. Those are going to be your meta titles, meta descriptions, and your heading. So meta titles and meta descriptions, that's if you look at, so I would do an example. So I'm gonna go here, just regular website, and I'm gonna hit F12. Let's see. Let's see here. All right, so I had to hit it on the other keyboard, but so in here we have the description. As you see, as I hover over a lot of this stuff, you'll see certain things light up on the left hand side. This is the code to the computer, and down here you have all of these things. Of course, you're not going to be specifically coding, but whenever you create your website on like something like Wix or anything like that, you will have different things that that are on the website that are in the background that you don't know. But whenever you include those things, it automatically gets included in the code, and Google actually goes through these things as well so that you can see that. So you want to make sure that you are adding a lot of these descriptions. Like when you include a picture, make sure you give it a caption, make sure you describe it. And like I said, in the back, because it's going to make sure that that's getting captured and Google can be able to specifically see that, right? It can see that and search for it, and it'll be able to find it. And when you go on the website, it'll just show up. Like all of these different colors have a description, the pattern of borders, all these different things. So just want to show you that you get to that, like I said, by pressing F12, and you can see kind of all the different tags that are going on in on the web page. But next thing, you have mobile optimization. Make sure that your website, of course, now is optimized for being on mobile, right? Being on your phone, because everybody's on their phone or iPad or just different things like that. Want to make sure that your website can operate smoothly with that and can easily get there. Site speed. This is something that you're going to have to make sure that you're not including. Whenever you include pictures on your website, you want to make sure that it's not huge pictures or like that take long to load, because we have short attention spans nowadays. So if it takes more than a couple seconds for your website to load, more than likely they're going to click out of it and go to a whole other website. So you want to make sure that it loads fast by including pictures or including things that will not slow your website down, or and using a website process or a website host that has the amount of servers that you need to run your website. Sometimes you're going to have to, if you have a lot of data, you might have a lot of videos on your website. You are going to want to make sure your host server can contain, or contain all of that. You know what I'm saying? So that your website can be able to load fast. Next thing is you want to make sure that you get into your local SEO. Make sure that you get on Google, like Google My Business. That matters, especially if you have a local service or product and you want to get into your community. Make sure that you're on Google My Business. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you're monitoring your website. Monitor it, your performance, how well you search it, your traffic, how many people are coming to your website, and then how long are they staying? Like I said, what are they doing? What web pages are they visiting on your website? Like what are they staying on the longest? You want to know all these things so that you can continue to optimize your website, continue to make sure that you are growing, right? Make sure that you are aware of what your website and everything is doing, and that you can just make sure that you have the best website possible. That's mainly about SEO. There's a lot more we can get into it, but that's like the brief overview, and then we'll hop right into our self development topic for today. So I want to just go over. Yesterday we talked about investing in yourself, and we talked about like trying just different experiences. And I wanted to name a few experiences to try that will help you improve your personal self development and also improve your self care. It'll give you some mental clarity and also some stuff that is going to be fun. Maybe these are some experiences you haven't thought about, but like I said, these experiences will also help with self development. Number one, travel to a foreign country solo. This is an experience to try, because you get to interact with other people. You're by yourself, so you have to learn a lot of things very fast. You don't really have no help. It's super rewarding to go somewhere you don't know so, and you figured it out. Like you learn your way around, you understood what to do, you whatever the case may be. My experience with doing that is when I went to the Dominican Republic, and it was a great time. I went by myself, and I had to learn a lot, right? Did a lot by myself, and I was just there, right? So there's a lot of time to be alone, a lot of time to spend with God, a lot of time to reflect and to appreciate what was going on. Next thing is to learn a new language. Learning a new language can be very rewarding. It unlocks different parts of your brain that you didn't know you had because you are able to process a whole new language and communicate with it in a whole new language. It's something that I can't really explain too much. But if you ever tried to learn a new language or you know another language or more than one language, then you understand what I mean. And I know uh Spanish a little bit, but not enough to like have a communication. I can read and write it, but when you start talking, it gets a little crazy. So um it's different languages. I think that Spanish is probably the number two language in the world. And then after that, it might be well, I don't know. I'm not gonna guess. But I know English and Spanish are like number one and number two. So those and that's for the jobs and that's for like work. And I know that well, one, I know English is number one just because that's the that's the aviation language of choice. Like any pilot has to know English because that's what all aviation um people use around the world. So, and then Spanish is number two, at least in the USA. So, learning a new language can be a great experience, can open you up, can open up new doors for you. It can open up new opportunities for you. But yeah, number three, volunteering. Getting out and volunteering with a local nonprofit, with a local well, you can start your own, like volunteering, whatever it is that you have a care for or a passion about. Get out and volunteer. You know, help your community, give back to your community. These are great personal. This is a great personal development experience, and it's very rewarding and fulfilling. Number four, getting a massage. If you have never gotten a massage, you should definitely try it. Wonderful experience. Give you time to really relax, but also your muscles get so tight over the course of your lifetime, especially if you're not stretching, especially if you don't like foam roll and stuff like that. Getting a massage will help relieve a lot of pressure in certain joints, which also translates to you having a healthier body and also having a healthier mind. Number five, hiring a chef or hiring people to come clean your house. This is an experience that you have to try because number one, it gives you some time back. And number two, it allows you to just care for yourself, you know? It's like it's an experience to help elevate your sense of living and your standard of living and your sense of thinking or being, right? Some of us think that we can't do these things or maybe afford these things, but you should try it. Well, if you have to save up for it and just experience that. You will never know the feeling of not having to clean your house because somebody else cleaned it until you try it. It's a complete amazing experience. Number six, taking a sabbatical. That is basically time off from work to do nothing but travel and or like just to not work. Basically, it's literally taking some time off to not do anything work related. And this is a thing that is not really popular in the Black community because we don't really have the opportunity to do that. But so many people that I went to college with were like, you know, it's like when we were in college, it's like when you were a senior, you graduate, and it's like okay, like I need a job. Like, I need a job before I graduate. I'm trying to secure a job. That's our big thing. So many people I went to school with was like, yeah, after I graduate, you know, I'm gonna take a year and travel and learn myself and do all these things. And it's like, what? Like, you know, what? Like, what is that? But you get older and you realize like you do that. And a lot of people save up. They might be working for like 10 years and then they end up taking a sabbatical for a year. And that just gives them time to reflect and enjoy life and experience life. And you come back so I would imagine you come back so refreshed, energized, new perspectives, just a lot of downloads. Just imagine really having a year and not working. Like, can you even imagine that? It's hard to, but that's something that I aspire to do. Um, and it doesn't have to be a whole year, right? I got it here. It can be a week, a month, 6 months, a year. It could be more than a year, you know, if you uh so choose so. But spending time with God in those times, it could be amazing. So yeah, I'll try. Of course, to start off with a week. Just take a week, do no work, then try to do a month and do no work. Right. Next thing is going on a silence fast. I don't know if you ever heard of this, but take some time to not talk. to not speak unless you absolutely have to. But the most efficient way would be to schedule some time to where you don't have to talk. Like, you tell your friends, you tell your family, like, hey, I'm not about to talk. Um, and I'm just gonna be mute for a couple of days. And that'll unless you're talking to God, that will really allow you to reflect and understand how it will really help you to learn yourself a lot. There's so many thoughts will come to your head. You might get anxiety from not being able to talk to people, but you'll be able to get process that and get through it. And it's so beneficial and helpful. Going on a silent fast is top tier. You get to really spend that quiet time reflecting on yourself, reflecting on your values, and really getting to know yourself. Is super rewarding. That's gonna be that's gonna wrap it up for today. These are some experiences to try, like I said, for personal and self development. Amazing experiences. You should try it. Let me know if you do. That'd be great. I would love to hear about it. But that'll wrap it up for today. That'll wrap it up for the week. And I'll catch y'all back on Monday at 7 a.m.